Hi guys, this is, first of all, I'm going to be a little happier because apparently people thought I was pissed off.
Mr. Grump.
I wasn't pissed off or grumpy, it was just a long day, and staring in front of the computer all day long makes me like mesmerized. So I'm going to be here extra cheery for you. So we're going to go over the questions that people put down for the first video of a couple things we want to talk about, and we're going to start with anemia. But just know that we're talking about more nutrition-related anemia since there's many different causes to anemia. So this clearly doesn't cover other genetic factors and other diseases and stuff, okay? Would you like to kick it off with the anemia?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Anemia, so iron, low iron in the blood. So in dietary-wise, you have your non-heme iron, which is vegetables, and your heme iron, which is meats. So blood and the proteins contain heme iron. Vegetables, non-heme. One is more absorbable than the other. Meat is more absorbable, but it doesn't mean somebody who doesn't eat meat in a vegetarian diet is more likely to be iron deficient. That's not really the case anymore as much as one would thought, because today's day and age, iron's fortified in a lot of foods that we eat already. Dry cereals, cream of wheat, things like that, so it's not much of an issue. Fun facts about things to do when you talk about consuming iron. Most supplements don't contain iron. It's very easy to become high iron in the blood considering our nutrition. Calcium inhibits the absorption of iron. Dairy and egg yolks as well. So if you are low in iron and you're taking an iron supplement or you're trying to get the maximum absorption, you want to avoid dairy and egg yolks in the consumption with, or calcium products or calcium supplements. Vitamin A and vitamin C increase the absorption of iron. So, iron supplement or foods that are higher in iron, and you're consuming, fruits and vegetables, that can help assist the absorption of. Polyphenols found in like coffee, tea, chocolate are found to inhibit the absorption of iron. It doesn't mean you can't have them in the same day, just not at the same time when you're consuming it. Anyone who's not iron deficient, as I was stated before, should not be taking any sort of iron supplement. Should not. Not recommended whatsoever.
Ask your doctor.
Yeah.
If you're unsure.
Ask your doctor if you're unsure. Most likely, if you don't have a chronic bleeding disorder or your diet's really poor, you're not going to have any issue. Too much iron can increase the risk of coronary heart disease, insulin resistance, and colon cancer. It's not very common at all to be iron deficient anymore. A lot of times, women go through menstrual cycles or puberty. They might, start menstruating, and usually an adolescent's diet is not super adequate high in anything because their eating habits are kind of awful, and you can become anemic that way, or maybe not fully anemic, but you start to become iron deficient.
That's one of the people at risk.
Correct.
Also, children who have exponential rapid growth when they're growing,
Yeah.
and if they go too quickly. Women who menstruate, pregnancy, breastfeeding, and also generally because they consume less iron than men in
Correct.
general. People with peptic ulcers, gastritis, cancer, or very, very rarely if they're excessively exercising.
So think of trauma and bleeding, as you lose a lot of iron when you bleed. So, a female menstruates and it's heavy and there's not a lot of good consumption of iron coming in. That is one possibility way of doing it. But like I said, if you're unsure, see your doctor, get a blood test. Don't just assume and start supplementing with iron. Not a good idea. Obviously, it's good to get through foods. It's just much better, okay? Vegetables and so forth, and of course, meats. Move on to the next thing is DVT, deep vein thrombosis. Now, generally, obviously, there's factors here. If you're a female, you smoke cigarettes over the age of 40, and you're on birth control or hormone replacement, you're on a high risk of getting a deep vein thrombosis, DVT, blood clot in the leg. Or obviously if you're on a plane and you're 6 hours in a plane, you're not moving and your legs are cramped, that can also happen.
Too big for the seats.
Yeah, this one over here. But this is going to be more related to nutrition in DVT. Now, is this something that can prevent it completely if you have a disorder, blood clotting disorder, or you have those risk factors of smoking, birth control, and so forth? No. High fiber diets and or lower in fat, especially vegetarian diets, combined with exercise, have been shown to have a reduced risk of DVT. Avoiding sedentary behavior, staying in movement. That's why they always say if you're on an airplane and you're staying for a long time to get up and walk around. High cholesterol obesity increases risks of. Evidence suggests that direct cause of the effect is still unknown, but they always say that high fiber foods and vegetables, whether what is going on in there or not, increases fibrin. I can't think. I'm not going to say it if I don't know it exactly, but in other words, it decreases risk of. That's what you really need to know. Probiotics. Some of these, this is not set in stone. These are supplements. Supplements, a lot of it has some research. Some has conflicting research, but obviously probiotics do have a large body of evidence suggesting that they do work. Just know that all probiotics are not created equal, clearly.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Do your research, find a really good one.
Refrigerated.
Yep, refrigerated. There's two main types of probiotics. Ones we're always used to is lactobacillus, and the other one people use for IBS is bifidobacterium, if I'm even pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I'm not. Both found in yogurt or in supplement form. Different uses per condition. There's still a lot of limited research suggesting which exact one should be used for IBS or irritable bowel diseases such as Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, things like that. But they do work. They do help.
I've got IBS and certain ones work better than the others, so you just kind of have to find one that works for you.
Supposedly a lot of research is the bifidobacterium one really helps with IBS. Helps balance gut bacteria, the good versus the bad. Most people try to use them after antibiotic cycles. The antibiotics wipe out the good bacteria in your intestinal tract. And it also helps food move through the GI, so it speeds up transit time, may help become more regular, and like I previously said, commonly used post-treatment of antibiotics because you can get, flora messed up. But those are probiotics. It's not really, I'm not going into exact crazy details. Scientific research suggests this and that. This is basic, good, helpful information. But the most important thing you can say in this, could we all benefit from probiotics? Possibly. If you don't have any digestive issues and you feel great all the time, are you going to go run out and spend $40, $50 a month on probiotics? No. But if you do, go out and do some research, find a good brand, good product. And if you get something cheap, it's probably not going to work.
Yeah. Same thing with digestive enzymes, take it with a grain of salt. They're commonly used when the pancreas cannot or does not release enough digestive enzymes in your body. It can also be used for pancreatitis or indigestion. There are side effects, though, with digestive enzymes. It comes with diarrhea, GI upset, cramps, or nausea. But it does not help everyone. They're not created equal. So do your research.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I have ulcerative colitis, and when I eat digestive enzymes, it made it way worse. So some people do experience the opposite effect. Some people can benefit from them. Obviously, there's a lot of different type of digestive enzymes. So you're going to have to do the research on which ones you think might be beneficial to you. Because obviously there's different enzymes that break down many different things, like lipase and fat.
Pineapple can help.
Yeah, pineapple. I use pineapple in almost all my meals. Having like a half cup of pineapple has bromelain in it. Bromelain helps denature, break down protein. Whether that's the exact reason why it helps me, I don't know. But when I do a half cup of pineapple with each 3 of my chicken meals, which is 8 ounces, I tend to digest it much better. It moves through me quicker. I feel hungrier, and I don't get any upset stomach because of my GI issues. But back to what you said about, obviously, and again, like probiotics, they're not all created equal. So obviously when you get some from the pharmacy, like lipase and things were used for people on pancreatitis, those are the real deal. Whether you're not getting really good ones supplement-wise, I'm not sure. Will they benefit everybody? Definitely not. You just got to try it to see if it works, but try one thing at a time. Don't do probiotics and digestive enzymes at the same time because you don't know which one's working, or if one causes upset, you don't know which one is causing the upset. Totally makes sense. And herbal supplements, I'm not really going to go into that. There's so many of them, and there's a lot of drug interactions.
It's very specific.
Very specific. Some of them are very questionable, not to mention there are hundreds of them. And you got to be way more specific on which individual herb you're talking about. I'm not really into herbs and stuff. I like the basic supplements. Yeah, multi. Obviously, the universal supplements I use for bodybuilding and protein powders and things like that. But I'm not into buying, $900 of all these crazy herbs and stuff like that. Tends to be a little complicated sometimes if you ever get admitted to the hospital and you have to write down all the supplements you're on. You need to write that list. or if you don't tell them, then they give you a drug, and you have a drug interaction. Cannot be good. Well, I hope I was happier this time around. And if you guys got more questions, obviously I might not be able to get to everybody's question, but
We'll try.
We'll try, and when we do, it's going to be right scraping the surface on the subject. We're not going to go into crazy depth of scientific research. So for all the gym police, the internet police, if you guys want to go through and call me this and call me that for not providing an exact text of a textbook that states this or that, that's why.
Very good.